Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm really glad you're here today. Hopefully you all had a good Christmas. Certainly, most likely, probably not quite what you're used to, maybe a little different than normal, but I'm hoping it was at least, enjoyable and fun, relaxing. Whatever it was you needed, I hope you got it. So it is December 28th, and I'm going to take a look at what's going on kind of Trump/Washington this week. I have not heard when or if Trump is returning to the White House, so maybe we'll get some clarity on that. And just check to see what's going on. I know that he finally signed the $900 billion stimulus package. And, again, what does this show us? This shows us the absolute lengths to which that man will go to stay relevant and in the conversation. He doesn't sign it right away, and he makes everybody suffer. Everybody's anxious. Everybody's upset. Everybody's paying really close attention to what he's doing, and that, of course, just feeds his ego. And then, I guess when he figures people, I'm not even going to say have suffered enough. I think when it gets to where he thinks people are going to not stop paying attention to him, well, that's the perfect time then to sign it and redirect all that attention back to him. He's kind of a bit of a sick puppy, in my opinion. Okay, so take a look at Washington. Let's take a look at Trump. Let's see what's going on for this last week of the year. I will be releasing a Insights video probably tomorrow, and probably on Thursday I will be releasing a video. I'm going to focus in on January 6th. Come on down. I have a question. Okay, so Trump, Washington this week. Trump, Washington this week. Trump, Washington this week. Okay, well, we're off to an auspicious beginning. Alrighty then. So, it's going to be a bumpy one. I think I know that there was a defense spending bill that Trump did not want to sign because I'm not sure who it was. I think it was tech companies have zero liability, and I think that was trying to get changed. I'm not sure of the details, but he hasn't signed that one yet. I suspect that may be coming. That one, if I'm not mistaken, is that one could be vetoed because this is a defense spending bill, so that impacts military families, et cetera, et cetera. So there's that going on. I think also Trump is starting to get a little bit more clarity about exactly what kind of legal jeopardy he's in. The protection of the White House is not going to last. And, he recognizes that. He knows that. And the behavior is all that kind of crazy attempt to delay the inevitable, hope against hope. Maybe he continues to try to, keep the attention focused on that. So those people that support him continue to donate to his cause. But there's definitely an amplification of his awareness of the fact that he is not going to escape justice, that the information or the investigations around him are flourishing, and that is that's a problem, that's a concern, right? The trickery, the lies, the all of it, is really in its own way kind of coming to an end because his little bag of tricks is getting empty because everybody's witnesses for 4 years. And so people are not interested in kind of falling into the trap that Trump likes to set. Although he set a brilliant one with this last stimulus package, right? I mean, he had everybody's attention focused on him. He clearly understands that his presidency is over and it is coming to an end. And everything he does where he is looking outside of the law, where he is looking away from norms, is him being vengeful. It's just as simple as that. This is a man who feels as if he has not been appreciated. Nobody celebrated his victory enough. Nobody, wanted him to become king of the country. And this is his way of getting back at every single person who either didn't support him or didn't support him enough, whatever that little dynamic is. But absolutely, there is a sense that everything that goes on from now until the morning, I guess, of the 20th of January is really all about revenge and trying to stay relevant. Those are the two things, because he is getting really, really scared now about what's going to happen to him and his family. And of course, it's not that he cares that much about his family. It is only that he feels like, that may end up blowing up in his face if one of his families really gets scrutinized. Before I forget, one of my viewers suggested that I check out a channel called Hogarth's Global Astrology, HOGARTH', Global Astrology. He is fascinating to listen to, and unlike a lot of astrologers, even though he tells you about degrees and angles and squares, he tells you what that means and how it's being interpreted. He did a really interesting one on Trump, where he outlined 4 scenarios that could take place when Trump leaves the presidency. I also saw one that he did on Ivanka. Fascinating. I strongly encourage you to go check this gentleman out. He's easy to listen to. He has diagrams that make sense. It's not on a computer screen where you can't see stuff. It's on a board. I really enjoyed him. I really, really did. And if you check him out, because I just think he's got something special going on there. Okay. So this is the energy that is surrounding Trump right now. He is focusing on the trouble he's in. And he recognizes that it doesn't really matter what he does, including whatever shenanigans go on January 6th. He's done. He's just done. And he's going to end up in a lot of legal trouble. Everything that he was able to put behind him or ignore or shove behind him, standing on his little I am the president pedestal, that's it's coming to an end. Okay, and of course, this is my card for Biden. So day by day, as this week goes on, you're going to see the Biden-Harris team making more announcements, explaining. There may be a couple more nominations, and there is continued support for him with the GOP quietly, but they're coming around. And they're also really sick and tired of Trump already, right? I mean, there's only a couple who are hanging on to his coattails for whatever political gain they see for themselves. But by and large, everybody just wants this guy to be quiet, sign what is put in front of him, and go away. That's pretty much what they would like to happen. And again, Biden is going to be sucking up a lot of the oxygen this week because, he has things that he needs to announce, et cetera, et cetera. And people, frankly, are so just relieved to have a politician standing in front of them who makes sense, who is calm, who has a strategy and a plan. Biden is like just that breath of fresh air, and people are done, and that includes the GOP. That includes the Washington, quote unquote. They're all done with him. He's crazy, and he's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And the thing is, this is something that you need to wrap your head around as we finish up 2020 and we move into 2021 for those 3 weeks that Trump will remain president. He's going to get more and more outrageous. His behavior is going to become more and more insane. It's not going to slow down. He's revving it up. He's revving it up. He is absolutely doing everything he can. He is spiraling. This is it. He's spiraling out of control, okay? And because of that, there is no low for him. Absolutely no low. He will stoop to whatever it takes to stay relevant. Try to convince people that the election was stolen from him, because that then becomes the platform that he is going to, or soapbox, that he is going to stand on going forward while he sorts out, because he's still hanging on to the idea of revamping his political career, or building some sort of a political dynasty, or reconfiguring the Trump family business. His head's all full of stuff, and none of it, frankly, makes sense. And he has gotten away with so much that there really is nothing anybody is going to say now to rein him in or put a cork on it. It's not going to happen. He's just going to continue to spiral. I guess it's a question of whether or not, I actually think that there is some quiet talk going on behind the scenes about the 25th Amendment. But he is going to resist that movement, and Pence is not going to end up on board, I don't believe. I think Pence is too scared. And he also has some hazy ideas in his head about the future of his political career. Because, of course, on January 20th at noon, he no longer has a political career. He is out of office. It's not like he goes back to being a senator or, he's out. He's done. And so he's thinking about, how do I revamp this? How do I kind of shed what was burdensome about Trump, but keep what will benefit me? And I mean, really, I think it was Pat Robertson, that evangelical preacher who, even he is saying enough is enough. Trump needs to step down. And that's, so even that sort of overzealous support is starting to dissipate around him. People feel that they have sacrificed enough for him. They're really, really getting close to that feeling of, I think I've hit my limit. Now listen, there's like about, I want to say 6 to 12, there isn't a lot of them left, who will just fight tooth and nail for Trump's right to stay in office and to fight tooth and nail. The rest of them are done. They're more and more aware of the sacrifices. And this is the thing, is that variant of COVID makes landfall. Now, we have 2 provinces here in Canada who have already seen positive cases for that variant that's coming out of the UK. It has to be in the United States somewhere because your testing is so low. It may take a little bit longer for that to become apparent, but as that continues to spiral, these members have to go home to their constituents. And it's getting harder and harder to justify the crazy. And the thing is, it's not only, okay, so he signed the stimulus package, so that takes one weight off of their heads. But as this thing continues to spiral, and it's going to, they have to answer, they're going to start to have to answer some really hard questions about, why didn't you do more? Why were the states individually not supported federally? Why was so much power in some ways almost taken away? Well, not taken away from the states, but it was, instead of doing things that would help each individual state do the best they could and thrive, there was this wishy-washy, or whatever you want to do attitude. There are questions that are going to need to be answered. And once Trump is out of office, all the attention reverts back to them. And now they have to explain not only Trump's behavior, but their own. And explaining their own could really, really end up being a dicey situation. A lot of them realize that they are going to fall. They may have got in for the next 2 years, or they may have whatever it is, 4 years, or however many years left in being a senator. But the writing really is on the wall, and they're starting to really recognize that this is not going to turn out so well for them, frankly. Ooh, really not well. Really, really not well. So, you've got a broken heart followed by the 10 of Swords. I just think that's not a good thing. You've got death in here. You've got the Tower in there. You've got the 8 and the 9. You've got the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. It's not good. And there's going to be this push this week and into the new year to try to keep moving things forward. But you know what? He's losing support everywhere. The crazier his behavior becomes, the more people are going to be more obvious about stepping away. And pretty soon there's going to be a conversation about something along the lines of, Trump has become so unhinged and so detached from reality that even if he could prove that there was voter fraud and the election was stolen, which he cannot because there was not, he is so mentally unfit, he couldn't stay in office anyways. Okay, and so, if anything, the cards are just saying, listen, hang in there, stay strong, look to the future. It's going to be much brighter. But be aware of the fact that this isn't going to stop until literally the moment Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are sworn into office. It's just not. and their message will get through. They actually, as they move forward, and there's going to be some resistance, but they're going to be able to get their message out and across. And because things are going to sort of revert back to sort of something that we recognize as normal, people are once again going to have to explain why they do or don't put their names to certain bills, why they do or don't vote for them or against them. The absolute belligerent, I will do nothing behavior and attitude is not going to work going forward. It's too important that stuff gets done. And this COVID-19 variant is going to add to the pressure. But like literally, you have all the cards for Joe and Kamala here. You've got her Queen of Swords, you've got his Ace of Swords, and you've got the Lover's card, which is representative to me of their administration. They are gaining strength, and they will be able to, wipe away and minimize some of the damage, but they're not going to be able to do it all overnight. They really aren't. You're going to see more friction becoming apparent between Trump and the GOP, between Trump and Mitch McConnell. He has it out for Mitch McConnell, and Mitch McConnell, as much as I don't really have anything nice to say about the man, he is at least politically savvy enough to know what fights to pick. And I don't believe that Trump is going to be able to draw him in. He's just going to stand by silently and basically let Trump be Trump. Oh my God, have we not heard that for 4 years? But to Trump's detriment. And that, of course, is the thing that the fool never, ever understands. So hang in there. Things are going to get better. Stay centered. Stay focused on, the positive. Stay focused on kind of the end being in sight and, surviving this, because you will. And soon enough, he'll be out of office. I'm going to just cut the deck and see if I can of the remaining cards, and I just want to see if I can get an answer about whether or not Trump is going to return to Washington. I don't have my pendulum with me. I'll remember for the next reading to pull it out, because I also want to keep tabs on what's going on in Georgia. Let's just do a quick one with the remaining cards and see what I get here. Does Trump return to Washington? Does Trump return to Washington? Does Trump return to Washington? Come on down. Let's see what we get. Okay. So he's overwrought. He's over emotional. He keeps doing things that really, really are going to test the boundaries of the law. He is going to continue to be passing judgment and being very vengeful in his behavior and absolving anybody connected to him or his election from any blame. He's going to be handing out, pardons. That's going to continue. And it leaves me speechless, because it is as if he does not understand that every single person he pardons has lost their Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate themselves. And I don't know why he's not putting one and one together and coming up with two, and the two represents the fact that they are going to be compelled to testify against him. He just doesn't get it. You know what? If he returns to Washington, I don't think he's going to stay very long. I still sort of intuitively think he's going to stay at Mar-a-Lago, but for some reason I'm getting this energy that he's going to come back to Washington and then leave again, so that most of January he may very well be at Mar-a-Lago. But I'm kind of getting an interesting back and forth energy there. It's sort of like he's going to come back, and maybe just when he comes back, the reality is going to be more than he can bear, and he leaves again. Okay, there we have it. That's my best guess as of today. Thank you once again for all of the Christmas wishes. They were lovely. Your generosity of spirit and kindness is just so special to me. And I'm very thankful and grateful that you're a part of my world. Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.